Oh, hey. Sorry I was gone for a while. I was in Cyberland.
I have invoked the dark ghouls.
What is Cyberkidz exactly? That is a very long story.
It's a show that was made during the big Power Rangers era, where that was big, so a bunch of showrunners wanted to get in on the kids with cool superpowers genre.
However, the show only aired a few times in a few select countries, and eventually the whole series was uploaded to YouTube by someone who I assumed worked on the show. It was never officially picked up, which is weird because normally you make a pilot episode and then wait to see if the rest of the show gets picked up. For this they made a pilot season. Some good old lost media. It's always fun when lost media becomes unlost, right? But who found this media in the first place?
The guy who yells at Fallout 4 babies and Steven Turow. The RTVS stream where they watch Cyberkidz is how I discovered that show. And this show is just far too obscure. This show has so much potential as the next show that every reviewer gets their grubby little hands on. In a better world, this video would exist. The main cast consisted of Kyle Brown, Sean Fleming, Nina Ragas, and Justin Staffer. Only one of those kids went on to have a career, and it was Sean Fleming. He was that dude in Kingdom Hearts, and he was in a band that I'm gonna become obsessed with soon. The most notable actor in this is the late Robert Z'Dar, known for Maniac Cop, having a huge chin, and being name-dropped in a Lemon Demon song.
And Robert Z'Dar from Maniac Cop 1, 2, and 3.
And yes, it is 2 trucks. The show had 13 episodes, with the last 2 episodes being 2 parts to one big episode.
So with all this backstory out of the way, I think it's about time I show you what the hell this show even is.
Kyle. He looks really happy. Ian. I have no clue what this emotion is. Danica. Not sure about this one either. Zach. He looks bored.
So yeah, if you haven't noticed already, the 4 names of our characters spell out kids.
Cyberkidz, feel the action, Cyberkidz, getting stronger, Cyberkidz, letting go with the power of the love. Cyberkidz!
Our story begins in LA, where the gangs are looking for Markiplier.
Silursaur subdivision of the theropoda. But some evidence indicates that this may be...
Also, what grade is this supposed to be? Kyle looks like he's 8, but his teacher is speaking in tongues. We then have the most abrupt transition ever to Kyle at the arcade. Look! It's the game! He's playing Cyberkidz. The game looks like shit. We then cut to Osaka, Japan. Another thing to know is that every kid lives in a different part of the world, which is a cool idea.
It's a shame that the pilot episode is the only episode where they actually put effort into making it seem like everyone lived in a different part of the world.
I think you got the wrong guy. That's a child. Anyways, these 2 fully grown adults chase after Zach. Thankfully he knows martial arts because it's a 90s show, and whenever there's an Asian character in a 90s show, there's a good chance they do martial arts. Somehow this is worse editing than Bohemian Rhapsody. Zach defeats the bullies with the power of fish, and then we go to Russia.
Yeah, remember when I said that the pilot episode is the only one that actually puts effort into making it seem like they live in different parts of the world? That is the last time Danica or Zach will speak a language that isn't English.
Congratulations, player. The key to Cyberland awaits you in the power of the glove.
You're lucky Danica just happens to know English.
As you'll see later.
Because if a kid got that message and didn't speak English, what are they supposed to get from this? Anyways, we go back to America where Kyle gets home and enters through his window. No reason is given.
This house has doors, sweetheart. Why don't you try using them?
Okay, Mom, next time.
Pay attention to his voice. You'll notice something later on.
So anyways, he gets a package that comes in a wooden crate. Also he has a crowbar because... Why does he have a crowbar? Wait, enhance! Thank God the NES was turned around because ooh boy. But yeah, he opens the package and it's full of hay. I hate it when that happens.
I just ordered a graphics card.
Kyle puts it on but it won't turn on, so we abruptly cut to later when this happens.
I wonder if it's really a key to another world.
Oh, I'm definitely in another world, alright. He puts on the headset and ends up in a white void with Zack,
Hey, a girl.
taking acting lessons from the greats. Oh hey, a character who didn't get an introduction scene.
I wonder why.
All of a sudden, Blue Walter White shows up and starts telling them the whole situation. His name is Floyd, and he was kidnapped by the Xyloids.
The Xyloids?
And they stole his glove. Now the main villain, Zorak, not to be confused with that other dude, wants to go to Earth, and that's why he's after the glove.
We can't let that happen.
Hey, you're right. Child who's being voiced over by an adult woman.
In the power of the glove! In the power of the glove! In the power of the glove!
The power of the glove. It's probably not anything bad.
Great Confucius!
It's the Asian character, so his catchphrase has to be Great Confucius because Confucius was also Asian. So the way they fall into Cyberland is via the fabric of reality being destroyed. I love the HUD they have because the first few times I watched this I was really confused as to where this HUD showed up in relation to the kids. Also look at how the falling looks. It doesn't look.
Now, what do you expect Cyberland to look like? Futuristic, cyberpunk-esque, perhaps?
It looks like a medieval town.
Holy computer chip!
Get ready for Kyle to say that constantly. Also, Zack falls into... Gak? What the hell is that? What? Next we meet our main villain, Zorak, as well as Zeist, his henchman played by Robert Zadar.
Another one of those humans, my Emperor.
How good that I have my eyes.
Oh, so the nightmare fuel was your doing. Thanks for clarifying. Zack gets ambushed by the Xyloids, and then the rest of the group meets up. They use the power of the glove, but then nothing happens and Danica whistles at them. Also, big fan of this guy. I hope he becomes an actual character.
So a fun aspect of this show, which is present in other shows, but it's most prevalent here.
Cyberkidz are only as strong as the scene needs them to be. Sometimes they can take out the Xyloids with zero effort, but sometimes, as well as in this scene, the Xyloids can take them out with zero effort. And then there's Zack, the only character who can actually fight. Sometimes. Oh, looks like they're about to lose. What are they gonna do?
Casual 90s racism.
Punches this guy and he keeps on flipping.
You guys gotta check this out, man!
Sure thing, child who's dubbed over by a fully grown adult. Oh, there's Zeist.
Welcome to Cyberland. I am Zeist, your worst nightmare.
Well, Mr. Zeist, we're the Cyberkidz, and...
How bad were his takes if they had to get an adult woman to ADR?
Okay, let me take care of Zeisty here.
He may look scared, but don't let that fool you because he farts on them.
Holy computer chip!
What did I tell you?
Suddenly, the competence switch is flipped for Ian as the Xyloid's picking up, and he does absolutely nothing to fight back. And it's all because Danica is taking too long with her character select. She puts up a glass wall, and instead of going to save Ian, they...
Wait, what's about the ear? If we all get arrested, we can't save him. Good point.
go do something else.
No, I didn't edit that in to scare you. For some reason, the sound of them bumping into glass is only in one ear, and it makes it sound like someone's knocking at your door. That one I did put in to scare you.
After that, they see a club guarded by a rejected Star Wars character who won't let them in because...
Oh right, they're kids.
So they use the power of the glove to... turn into monks? Oh. Oh dear, I am so sorry for the guy playing adult Kyle.
What can I get you folks? Well, what you got?
Okay, so earlier they ADR'd them with adults. And here they disguise themselves as adults. So if you're just gonna have the adults again, why try to change the voice in the first place? And before you say it's for consistency, in a later episode they have another thing in the lore that functions the same with the whole voices stay the same thing, but it also breaks that rule.
Sounds like it's got a real gigabyte to it.
Zeist and the troops come by the bar and uh-oh, Zeist can sense them because... before they enjoy their drinks, the disgusting rabbit man shows up, but they can't understand what he's saying.
Would you care for some vegetables?
Zeist uses his green power to reveal the Cyberkidz. Oh, the rabbit man is an ally.
Who are you?
Quicks!
Always at the service of anyone brave enough to spit in Zorak's soup.
I'm gonna spit in your soup.
Instead of going after the Cyberkidz, Zeist
Eliminate this place.
shoots up a bar.
Dude, I think you may be overreacting a bit.
Quix tells them that he's with the underground resistance who fights against the rule of Zorak. Kyle then reminds us that Ian has been kidnapped.
Disaster! Does he have the glove?
Well, that's one way to answer your question.
So now Zorak wants to saw the glove off of Ian's hand.
Hey Zorak, fun fact.
Also, why do these kids have zero fears? If I was in that scenario, I'd be crying, and if I was his age and in that scenario, I would be screaming.
And what are you going to do about it, little human?
Scream for help! Help!
We then learn that Zorak has a secret entrance into his palace and the underground resistance just knows about it.
Also, look at the following sequence of events.
In the power of the glove!
Pacing in the show is completely off, but just you wait because eventually it becomes full-on Chainsaw Man pacing. Zorak starts casting spells, but they only put the effects in for the first and last spells.
We're confusion!
Now it's time for them to fight these strange goblin creatures, and hey, we get the shots from the intro. We get a very strange fight scene, once again showing that the only way these people can fight the Cyberkidz is by throwing them. Wait. Is that Floyd's glove? Just sitting underneath Zorak's chair? Also, what the hell was Zorak doing? Just walking back and forth like an NPC waiting for you to talk to them? Zach, the only one who seems to know how to fight, uses light things. Danica has a rope, and since when was she that fast? Kyle is about to escape with the glove, but Zeist conveniently warps in right before he can do that.
Hey, Jack!
Oh wow, if only 6-foot Robert Zadar could have done something about this. Then the glove gets teleported and maybe Zeist could just go through the teleporter and grab the glove, or...
Rules be released to demolish the insignificant.
Never mind, Zorak is gonna go on a Twitter rant.
Oops.
You've done well, Cyberkidz.
Was I supposed to know you could do that? Then the kids just walk out. Zorak told Zeist to go after them and he just stood there. And now, Floyd getting tortured.
Holy computer chip!
Did the kids see him go through that? The next day, Kyle's in school and Quix appears in his locker.
Cyberland needs a Cyberkidz!
And Kyle doesn't question it.